Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of our podcast Wanderlust Chronicles. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to plan your vacation. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. So, when it comes to planning a vacation, there are seven key points to remember: the determining the length of your trip, setting up a budget, and looking for deals, and researching your destination, and considering alternate accommodations. And the other ones are factoring the transportation cost and the allocation for unexpected expenses. I will go through them in detail in the next few minutes. So consider this as a briefing of what you can expect. So let's just get to the first point. Determine the length of your trip. So it depends how much your time is you're gonna spend on vacation will greatly impact your budget. So generally, the people will try to plan how many days of vacation they want first, then you should check your budget. For example, I have made a trip recently to Singapore. For it was a 4 nights and 5 day trip, and it cost me around $3,000 on anything. And if I wanted to expand it to a 7 day trip, it would cost me another $5,000 depending on the variation. So as you can see, number of days increases, your budget will get expanded. These are generally what happens. And this, so first thing you want to keep in mind, how long you want to stay in a place, and based on that, create your budget. So now we have made the planning for the number of days you're going to stay on a vacation. Now let's see how the budgeting comes. So when it comes to budgeting, we have to take in account of our mode of cost of transportation, accommodations, food, and activities involved. For example, if you're looking to stay in a hotel around $1,100 per night. A 4 day trip will cost you around $400. Now we have to check how the flight will be. So if you check the flight, it will also come around somewhat near the same amount of $200 to $300 per flight per person. So that's also need to be accounted. And when you're budgeting the travel, you should know the major expenses will be coming, it will be accommodation and your flight or transportations. So do keep in mind about that. A general rule of thumb I will say to you, make sure your or accommodation is less than one third or 33%, and flight as well, so that you will have more money to spend on your activities on your vacation. Otherwise, you couldn't enjoy your vacation, and you will be bothered about how much money you have left. So that will be a great idea to look into when you're planning your budget. So you made your plan for the budget. Now you want to book your flights and hotels. So how do you do that? First thing I can give you an advice on is always look for vouchers and discounts. For example, if when I booked for a Singapore flight, I went through their Singapore Airlines flight plans, and I found that there is an offer going for if you book a to and return flight from Singapore Airlines, the return flight becomes free for the individual. So I could actually spend less money on the flight and more on my vacation. This was like one tip I can give you. Similarly, you should check your airlines and your travel vouchers. You should also check your credit card. If you have enough points, you might get a little discount on your travel vouchers. Travel. These generally you should take up. So if you're having good credit points, reward points left, make use of it and make sure you have a great travel. So you have made your flight bookings. Now we are going to plan what to do in our destination. So let's get a pen and paper and go through YouTube videos to check out what are the main attractions in your destination. So generally you should have an idea of 5 to 6 places you need to visit so that you will can organize them on your travel dates. And one thing I will tell you is find the best time to visit in each places. Generally, make sure that when before the crowd is coming, so that you can take your best pictures and put in your Instagrams and everywhere you like. When you go to amusement parks like Disney World, Universal Studios, etc., one thing you should take in account is check whether there is a premium ticket for express entries. It might cost you a little higher than the normal ticket fare, but they can save your time. In my last experience, I found that premium express ticket can reduce your wait time into rides by more than half, even half the time. And I was able to complete the Universal Studio in less than a half the day, while others took a lot more because of waiting. Remember, when you're going on a vacation, your time is more valuable. Otherwise, you will end up regretting that you couldn't visit all your places you wanted to visit. So, make sure you have the time you required and research how to spend your better time visiting your places. So, you have researched your destination. Now, let's see where can you stay in our vacation. Now, let's consider how our accommodation will be done. When you're planning a vacation, your accommodation can be in either for two places, hotels, or Airbnbs or homestays to save money. If you want to have a great experience in uh, then try for hotels. And if you want to have some exotic stays, check for Airbnb. Sometimes they are more cheaper than hotels and give you better viewing experience. And similarly, your once you need to check is where can you eat food from? You can either have some something from hotel itself, or you can have something ordered in every day, or go out to nearest cafe or fast food joint. Or sometimes you just need to look into your local hawkers or street food. They have much cheaper and good options. And besides, you can enjoy the local cuisines. That's something to remember. Make sure you're eating in a nice place so that you don't have any diarrhea or any other food poisoning experiences. So that keep in mind about that. So now you have researched all the places to stay and what to eat. Now, now what? How are you going to get to each places one after the other? That's something you should take in mind. So when you're looking into budgeting, you should also take in account transportation costs because each city will have their own transportation. Somewhere, some places will have better public transport, while others will lack it, and you have to depend on cab aggregators like Uber and Grab, Lyft, etc. Sometimes where people will have better public transport, check if there is any offers like metro cards and etc., which allow you to travel free of cost for tourists, or sometimes you have to top up card and use it everywhere. This is one thing you should check into because at the same time, the cab aggregators like Uber or Lyft can be useful. They are generally more expensive to the public transport. And many places, public transport will be the mode of transport you should prefer. So you have planned everything? Not exactly. There, how much you planned, prepare for the unexpected. Always allocated unexpected expenses. That's one thing you should always check. One could be medical emergency or lost luggages, etc. I can tell you from my experience, when I visited Singapore, there was one medical emergency. As the COVID was spiking, the return on before my return trip, I was supposed to take the COVID test, and what happened was it's generally effect costly in those areas, and this was an unexpected expense that I had to take out money from. So always plan according to it. You need to have medical emergencies or lost luggage plans. So always have some amount, at least 10% for unexpected expenses. And these unexpected expenses not just be medical emergencies, might be something you've seen like this unexpected offer on a gadget overseas that you want always wanted, or something that you really liked. Maybe you can have some good things there. So we have reached the end of our podcast episode, and hopefully you have gained some valuable wisdom about planning your vacation. So get down to it, plan your vacation, enjoy your stay, and write back to me. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot. And hopefully you too.